Cheers YouTube, Joe and Nikki here, finally getting to the chocolate cherry stout tasting. This has been a long time in the works. Honestly, we got a little bit busy at the store and honestly, I completely forgot to make the video. So here we are, better late than never. Stouts age really well, so this will actually be a really good test to it. The kit itself, or not the kit, the recipe we put together, it took about 6 weeks to make. I think
a decent amount of time,
six to 8 weeks with the aging and the carb.
Yeah, we did several different steps in the secondary just to enhance the flavor, and each one seemed to take a little bit longer than we originally expected. And then we'd do it, and then we'd forget about it. And
so gave it a little bit of time, let it set, let it go, got it in the keg. It was good, and now it's been several months now since we made it, so. Should be fun tasting. I drank on the keg for a little while right at the start and was just kind of watching how the flavors were developing. Haven't actually had this for quite a while, so this will be fun. So I'm gonna let the brew master here,
pressure's on,
because women can brew, have the first draw.
Cheers, Non.
Definitely looks good.
Am I allowed to swear on YouTube?
I may bleep you.
That's a damn fine beer, if I do say so myself. Oh, that turned out really well.
It poured with a thicker head. It's maintaining a good 1/4 inch there, which is nice.
You get that good chocolatey and a little bit of the bitter at the end, and then the cherry actually comes in like after everything else. The cherry is kind of what hits me, and then the bitter again is what's left on my tongue.
Okay.
Like that good bitter. It's very well-rounded, like it goes through a lot of different phases.
Layers of flavor. Now, do you get chocolate out of it? You do?
I do.
How so?
Oh, you put me on the spot.
No, having not tasted it, I'm just curious. The pungent, mellow, smooth,
no, it's a nice,
barely noticeable,
smooth.
noticeable.
It's a decent part of the character of the beer.
This is the first time we've used cocoa nibs, so this was kind of an experiment too for us.
It's a decent, like, you do get the chocolate, but it's not overwhelming. It's very smooth.
Okay.
It's not
mellow.
like. Yeah, it's not like sometimes when you get like a coffee or a chocolate flavor, you also get that really astringent flavor. This doesn't have that. It's a very dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna
your
try.
turn. Your turn. Watch out for my chapstick.
I'm sitting here salivating. Oh god. We're gonna hide that, YouTube. Okay, here we go. So super dark. Dark as my shirt, actually. It smells like a stout. It doesn't actually have much aroma.
I didn't do the proper sniff. I apologize, YouTube. I just dive right into drinking.
Yeah, right. I'm getting right to the point here.
I got stuff to get done.
This is why she's my fiance. Okay, here we go.
It's one of the credentials.
You gotta want it. Okay. No, I'm not getting any chocolate, cherry. I mean, it smells stouty. But you get a little, is it a yeasty maybe aroma? No, it's not yeast. It's like a grain. It's like a grain.
Can you get your nose down in there for a
minute? Okay, here we go. Okay, I see what you mean. I get hit right up front with the caramel malt. Right up front with the caramel malt, and then chocolate. I actually do get a good chocolate out of it. Not, like you were saying, not...
It's not overwhelming and it's not astringent. It's a very smooth, like milk chocolatey, mellowy.
Yeah, it's really mellow. And we didn't put any, if you didn't check out the video, here's some magic link to the making of this beer. We didn't use any lactose in it, but it's got a nice
There's
a nice residual sweetness to it, but it's really smooth, really creamy. It does have almost a smooth body, a hint of a sweetness to it. And then the cherry does come as it warms up a little bit.
Yeah. I think if I were to do it again, I might actually add a little bit more cherry. We went really light on the cherry. We used one of the flavorings. We didn't use actual fruit, just for ease and mess and time.
Use about 1/3 of a bottle.
We always, whenever we use that stuff, we like to kind of add a little bit, stir it in, taste it, add a little bit, stir it, taste it, so that you don't. We accidentally did on our peach wheat. Joe was getting ready to add the peach flavoring, and he said, "I'm sure it'll be light," and just dumped the whole thing in, and it was
bad.
It was a little bit overwhelming. This is why you don't let Joe mess with your recipes. He has a tendency to take them overboard. But I would have actually done a little bit more on the cherry on this one. Because it's just really, really subtle.
It's very, very
And I
subtle.
actually kind of wanted a little bit more of that cherry to pop.
And we could always add that as we pour a glass if we wanted to tinker with that. It's the fun part of kegging and those flavors.
Yeah.
You just add a little bit. Not a lot though. I mean, I like.
Don't let Joe do, like, I asked him to add a little cherry grenadine to something once, and I got about that much cherry grenadine, so just be careful.
Thank God it wasn't the whiskey. Ah! But no, I like it. Actually, there's a decent alcohol to it too. I actually have a little bit of a.
But you don't get that heat in the flavor. Like, it doesn't taste. It doesn't have that.
Doesn't have
like,
an alcohol burn. It's super smooth. I think outside of the Imperial Stout, the botch batch, that's the one. That...
Now that you're bringing up the smell almost gives me a roasted.
Yeah, like I was saying, it's like a graininess kind of, like a.
It's not grainy. I get the roasted.
I get a little bit of grain,
a
little bit of like a. I can't quite explain it. It smells like a stout, if that makes sense. Yeah, I dig it.
It's interesting how at the very beginning you get a little cherry, and then towards the end you get a little cherry. It's just like a little bit of fruity. And then it goes right into that smooth chocolate, and then at the end it's that little bit of bitter. It is fascinating how a beer can change flavors
and
in
we
your
did
mouth.
throw in just like one vanilla bean for only like 3 days, and when I first tasted it, the vanilla was very present. Now the vanilla is an afterthought. It does exactly what I was wanting to do with that, and where like your tongue has this like, what is that?
It is kind of at the end. Now that you bring that up,
yeah,
it's like right at the very end.
I get a little bit of that vanilla, but it's not. It doesn't have any taste, if that makes sense.
Yeah, if you didn't know that it was there, you wouldn't know. But when you're looking for it, you actually detect a little bit of it.
Layers of flavor. That's what we were going for. I love this beer. So we've had some folks ask about if where's the kit? You guys said you were going to make this into a kit. We're working on putting that together. It's going to be a fairly premium kit. We actually need to get bigger boxes to put it in. There's so many ingredients in it. So
I might have gone over the top with this one.
Yeah, this one's definitely over the top. It's definitely awesome though. Flavor-wise, spot on. Color, obviously, it's beautiful. The cherry you add to taste, with any of those flavorings you add them to taste. So I think it'll be a good kit.
Well, and you get some freedom too with the chocolate, with the cocoa nibs, because you can decide how long you want to leave them sit on that. You put those in the secondary.
We did a
decent amount of time.
Because I was looking for just chocolatey richness.
Yeah. We wanted to see how much flavor we could actually pull out of those cocoa nibs. So we let it stay in the secondary for a decent amount of time. Yeah. But if you wanted to kind of minimize that chocolate and not have it quite so present.
You could pull it early, and same deal.
And then I think it'd be a little bit more of a traditional stout,
Without the cocoa? Well, yeah. If you ended up going on the side of keeping the cocoa nibs in there for just a short while, I think it would enhance the chocolate malt in there a little bit. It would help the roasty side, but it wouldn't necessarily add a chocolate per se. We left it in there long enough where it's like, yes, there is chocolate in there. I can taste an actual cocoa, which...
I like chocolate.
I like stouts. It's a marriage made in heaven. I love it. But no. Well, anything else you want to say?
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. I was going to say, cheers, YouTube. Thanks for watching, as always.
Thanks for tuning in.
Women can brew.
Power to you, all those girl brewers out there. Lady brewers, women brewers, all of us.
Yeah, all brewers. This is the fun part.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's all... Anybody can do it. It's not men, it's not women, it is everyone, and that's kind of the point we're trying to make, is that everyone can do it. And it's not that hard. People seem to think, well, and to begin with, it seems intimidating, but it's really, really not. I'm going to be honest, and this was actually one of my first recipes. I had brewed,
scratch,
I had brewed with Joe before, but I'd never done a recipe. And it's really not as intimidating as it starts out being, you know. Once you start to understand what hops do and what grain does and what each flavor offers, it's like knowing what salt does to a recipe.
I think that's
what
the hardest
pepper
part
does,
right
you
there,
know.
is learning the flavor profiles. I mean, at BIY, we stock about 50 different hops at any one time and probably about 35 different grains, 35 different grains, and they all have a different flavor. So it's finding that combination. And
well, and the
like
beauty
you said,
of it is
demystifying it too. It's not. It's like no, take a breather. You'll be okay. You know.
And the beauty of it is too is that it's so flexible. I mean, you really can play. You can play. It's just like I think it's more flexible than food, because with food,
well, you
if
can
you
burn
put
the shit out.
well, but I'm no, when you put avocado with pineapple, you know, like flavors don't match. Whereas with beer, it's all like a color palette that's meant to work together, and so you really
finding what you like. I think this nails actually Nikki and I's two different styles here in one beer, which I think is cool. So I like those big roasty flavors. She likes a little bit more complex, a little bit more like a fruit type presence, like the cherry. I think is perfect. It's not overpowering for me, but I know that it's you can taste it, so it's there. So it's like,
well, it adds a brightness to the beer. You know, it adds a.
And that's the fun part. Brew for fun. Brew what you want to drink.
And we do have another video coming your way soon.
Yes, another kit.
A BIY exclusive kit that is actually on the shelves. It's called the Summer Flight Ale.
It's awesome. That one's on tap too. Taste coming.
Exactly, and we actually got my mom into brewing and Joe's brother into brewing, doing this batch. This was their first batches, so they're both pretty proud of it.
Yeah, and I think it turned out great.
So yeah,
and again, recipe collaboration here. Two minds. Women can brew.
See, I come up with the recipe, and then Joe goes, "How many pounds of stuff can I throw in there to make it more alcoholic?"
No,
and then sometimes he wins, sometimes I win.
I'm not a booze hound. I'm looking for complexity, difference. Layers.
Booze. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He's really not a booze.
I can actually make a really balanced beer. Anyway, but yeah, like we were saying, sorry, that was a tangent.
That's a tangent.
Thanks for watching, guys. It's good seeing you again. There are going to be more videos coming out. Sorry, the store's been crazy, so it's just been difficult to find the time to sit down. You can see we're in the middle of the night here. So
we've had some viewers that have been shopping with the store, and we appreciate that so massively.
Yes.
And we've been trying to get back to everybody that has questions and everything like that as quickly as we can. And so seriously, cheers for your business. We are small, we are local, we can't even express how much we appreciate it. So.
Yeah. Small business, man. It's a tough one. So
that's for sure.
Well, on that note, cheers YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Oh.
I gotta do the obligatory 17.
Drink up, me hearties.
Oh,
that's a good beer.
That's a good beers. We brewed the beers. Bye, everybody.